Hey all, Board Game Rants here where you'll find everything solo tabletop gaming and more. Gotta apologize. Cat ate my goddamn microphone. Would anybody attest to me having kitten stew tonight? Let's go over October's most voraciously played games, shall we? Okay, I'm going to talk loudly, so hopefully, because I don't want to wait until the new microphone comes in, because then I'll already start playing other games, and it might skew, I like to do this like right at the end of the month. I played 40 games, and 13 different board games. I'm also kind of an avid video game player, my wife and I, and Assassin's Creed came out, Odyssey, and we put in some hours, over 50, I think, together on that one. And then Black Ops 4, I just love getting my ass kicked on that, but it's still gaming, tell you what. So if anybody does gaming, PS4, I'm Whiskey, I'll put it up there. If you know the reference, the movie that's from, you're rad. Let's get on to why you're here. What did I play? Well, of course, I eased into the month, and out of September, playing Too Many Bones. Got one game in of normal Too Many Bones. I was going to try the campaign, and I played it once, but then I was like, no, I want to do more Undertow. That's the expansion that came out to Too Many Bones. And I don't want to go over too much of that because I went over a lot of it last month. So moving on, I played one Too Many Bones, 3 games of Undertow. Oh, actually, in Undertow, I played the little mini campaign, and it was awesome. I loved it. I just love Too Many Bones. Anyway. Sprawlopolis, I raved about that last month, and got a couple games in solo. Best little card game right now for me on the planet, like by far. Renegade, played a game Renegade. Ricky Royal came out with another pack to try out, and I only tried it out once, and I just had to move on. The Mind, mentioned this last month. It's kind of become a staple in a particular night that I have dinner with family, and we played it 3 times, and again, it's just a wonderfully simple yet fantastic little game. Different game now, Energy Empire. I've had this game, and it's that Manhattan Project game, and I saw something on Board Game Geek that a different type of solo came out for it that was, I believe, had like an Automa deck to run and something like that. And so I was like, oh, I got to relearn this. Well, I played it twice, and then I just kind of lost interest in it. It's not, it's okay. I think I just got to be in the mood for it or whatever, and I wanted to move on. So I did. So I played 51st State a couple times. 51st State, the original 51st State. And now there's like a master set. But I played that a couple times. I'll get back to that one here in a bit. Feast for Odin. I kind of just started getting this appetite for heavier games, and I've had that one for a while, and I wanted to try it out and just see like if it just got that same kind of thrill out of playing it, and I almost did. I still like the game a lot. It's still, I would say it's probably, I want to go back and play Gates of Loyang because I remember liking that. I think it's like one of his best solo games that people still rave about, and I have it, and I might have to take that again. Maybe it'll contest with Feast for Odin. Just Feast for Odin, it's got so much to it. It's got so Patchwork, if you've ever played that, that's a Uwe Rosenberg, and you're kind of it's almost like putting together a little puzzle, and but Feast for Odin is much, or like Tetris maybe. Feast for Odin is way more involved in that your pieces kind of represent your riches, and you're trying to cover your land with it, and you'll cover negative points. But if you build it in a certain way, you'll wrap around resources so you collect them every round, and it's just this immense. It feels like there's so many ways and directions to go, and I guess there are, but you kind of get locked into your pattern. It's a little like Scythe was for me. When I played it solo, I would play it a certain way, but then Fenris came out, and that kind of blew all that to crap. So I don't really, which was great because it got me out of my habit. Now Feast for Odin, I think, is coming out with an expansion. Maybe we'll have to pick it up to see what it's all about, and maybe it'll do that same sort of thing too. Anyway, should have turned off notifications. New game, One Deck Dungeon. Played that 6 times. 3 by myself, 3 with someone else, and because I was on Board Game Geek, the one player guild, I think, that it was in the top 20, I want to say, of all time, and I was like, okay, I got to pick this up. It's so cheap, relatively speaking. Somebody's review on it that said it gets a little repetitive because it's one deck. I guess, it's all in the name, and it did. After I got it through a few plays, it's still fun. I enjoy it. I don't know why maybe it's so high ranked in one-player guild because of that repetitiveness. I seem to have a problem with these smaller box games, like the whole tiny epic stuff, smaller, the Castles of Burgundy dice that I've just, picked up, and some of the other, I never can stick with them. I don't know if I like just setting up massive board. I mean, I do. I guess there's that. I do. I like setting. I just like the sprawl of just a big box game, and setting it up is just part of the experience that I just love. Gloomhaven, that's too much. Not that much into setup. Prefer to play the game more than I'm setting it up. Yeah. So back to One Deck Dungeon. I put it away, and I'm thinking it'll come back out. I think I want to try playing it with other people. I think it'd be more fun than playing it solo. That's what I'm thinking. Anyway, but then another game that I got because it was my birthday this last month, and my wife loves me. Folklore: The Affliction. Only 2 times have I played that, and just like these little mini. I played through the first part of it, the kind of tutorial part. Then I went online, and it's got some stories on there. Folklore: The Affliction is very much reminds me of Gloomhaven, but and it's got so many systems that are like it, but it sets up way freaking quicker. But the biggest thing so far that I'm realizing is just missing stuff. You get all these +1s and +5s and +10s, and then subtract this and this because you're going after this thing, and if it hits you with this thing, which affects your this thing, then this thing, and it's a lot to keep track of. Oh, it's just fantastic. And it was just in time too for Halloween. Halloween is all about scary, spooky creatures, and so is Folklore: The Affliction. You can get infected with lycanthropy, and then you can get if you roll wrong, you turn into a werewolf, or you can get bloodlust, and if you roll wrong, you turn into a vampire, and you can become a ghost and still play, which rocks. I love that idea that you can still play. You die, you're not really dead, you're a ghost, and if you get to the right town, you can revive yourself. That's pretty cool stuff. Last month I started doing it. It was my biggest surprise game, biggest disappointment. And then the old MVP, most voraciously played. So, starting with surprise. Space Hulk. Death Angel, the card game. Oh my gosh, this game just came. I saw it, and I was like, and it was so hard to get. And I was looking like on Amazon and things, like people are charging for it. Found it was out of print. And I was like, okay, I got to bust this thing out again. I bought it way back when it first came out, I think. And then when the expansions came out, I just snapped them up, never played the expansions. Snapped them up, never played them. So they'd been sitting, I remember collecting them all in the box. So it was all in this little tiny box. So I started digging into it, started playing. I got 5 games of that in, and the first game was a little bit like, actually the first game, I crushed it. And I was like, I couldn't be doing this right. And I looked at the rules, because everybody talks about how hard it is. And then I played it again the second time, and I barely won. And I'm like, but then that was the vanilla. And then I threw in an expansion. I forget one with the Tyranoid or Tyranid or something like that. Demolished. I mean, not even. I think I made it through. There's rooms you got to make it through. And I think I barely made it into the very first room. I mean, out of the first room into the second room, because I remember that feeling. I'd never played it. I'd only played it with people, and then I started playing it solo for the first time, and I was almost trying to kick into gear that feeling. And then when I started losing, I guess that's when I remembered about this game. It is about losing. It's about just getting torn up. It reminds me so much of the movie Aliens, when those big badass Marines are all cocky and they go down into that Space Hulk, and then the aliens just start ripping them apart, and you just see the HUDs just right, and Ripley's all telling whatever the wuss pants commander guy, do something, because she just drives in there and saves them all. Anyway, it reminds me of that. You're going in, and it's just, I can see how it would drive people nuts. You're just rolling a die, and it's just one die. There's no hit points. You may have these little support tokens that sort of seem like it's a hit point because you can re-roll a die, but on that one roll, you live or you die. There's no I get to plunk off a life, or no, it's just dead or alive. And it's just it can turn the table so quickly, and it's just perfect, because the game has to play fast enough to make it to where you can tolerate that. Because like if you're really deep into a long game and then things just start falling apart on you based on luck and stuff. I mean, you can sit and you can think about it, because you get these 3 actions and per Marine you're running, and if you're playing solo, you're running 3 different Marines. So you get 3 actions. So it's very simple, because once you pick that first action, you can't pick that same action the next round. So now you're down to, because each Marine only has 3 actions, there's an attack and a move and activate and a support. Once you pick one, you can't do it the next. So you're down to 2 actions per Marine, and you can just blast through it. You can sit and think about it, and you'll be like, because they've got there's little text and little verbiage, and it's cool because each set of Marines has its own set of stuff it can do. But it's just not the way I would enjoy it. Then I would get frustrated by planning and taking all this time, and then this thing's getting picked off. No, just play it. Just play it. Go with it. And you get tore up, or you make it through, and usually when you make it through, and if you win, it's like down to one last roll, and you got to swarm, and if you don't friggin' pull that lever, wrong lever, then you are dead. Game over. Or if you do manage, you win right before the swarm overruns you. Good stuff. So, I was surprised as I sort of ran into that game again and enjoyed the heck out of it. 5 plays on that. Still have it set up on the table. So biggest disappointment. So going back to 51st State, I started playing that because I saw something about Imperial Settlers. I mean, I knew it had a campaign to it, and I never got to it the first time. I've had both these games for a while, and Imperial Settlers is like loved by everybody, and from a solo standpoint, I just never could get into it. I was never really sure why. I didn't know if it was the pictures. I don't know if it's all... It looks so appealing. But I love the look of 51st State way better, and I like the theme. I just like post-apocalyptic themed stuff, and the bubbly nature of Imperial Settlers. I don't know if it just didn't fit the whole, like you're going to raise this card. You're like burning shit down, and you're just this cute little character. So I don't know what it is that bothers me about that, because it looks like eye candy, but when I play it, I tried to get in. I played it 4 times to try to get back into it, just enough to like rev me up and then go and do some campaign stuff, and I never could. 51st State, the master set, has a solo version, and I watched someone play online there, and Beyond Solitaire, I think, and and it looked good, but I don't want to. So, and I tried to implement my little copy, my original copy, with those rules, and it just I couldn't quite get it to go, and it was just like, oh, I want to like it, and I think I would like the master set of 51st State with the new rules solo, but I just don't want to bust out the cash for that. I have the original. I wish I could adapt it reasonably, and I just can't seem to get into Imperial Settlers. Damn it! I already knew I didn't like this game. That's, I guess, where the disappointment comes in. But anyway, Imperial Settlers, it's not a bad game. I just can't get into it, and I want to, and that's disappointing. So. MVP time. Most voraciously played. Gaia Project. It's been out for a while, right? Played it 7 times. But I'd already played it. I already got this game like earlier this year. Sometimes I'm just really in the mood for a heavy game. And that's why I think those little box games don't work again. Because I just like those heavy games. And Gaia Project, though, I kept looking at the shelf over and over. I'd see it on the shelf. Just wouldn't take... Because it's a bit of a relearning curve on that one. That's just it's a heck of a game. Put it out on the table. And it's one, when you get out on the table, you just, it takes a little while to set up. There's a lot of parts there. It just grabs you. I remember it grabbing me last time, earlier this year, and that's why I've been wanting to take out. I swear I look at it every week, and I'm like wanting to take it out. And I did. And that game is just, it's got everything. It's got everything that you could really want in solo gaming. And it's so just immersive in that when you get into it in 1 hour, you can just feel like it's just the best workout that gaming can offer in solo gaming. I don't know if it's the best one. It's still not my favorite game, but it's as far as just mechanics that are clean, and you don't have to be looking up a bunch of stuff. The rule book is so well done, and once you get it and it starts clicking, then it starts feeling you just get into this rhythm, and every time you play it, when you can play it, like I said, you can play it in about an hour, and it never plays the same because you can pick 14 different factions against 7 different opponents, and then you've got all this randomness that comes out with the setup, and the planets are everywhere different each time that you can colonize, and it's just it's just a complete, it's the entire package. I just put it away because I didn't have room. I had to put Folklore Affliction somewhere. And I already am feeling the pull to take it out again, just because it's like, I don't want to forget how to play. I don't want to spend the time, waste the time relearning it. I just want to play it again. That's a wrap, I think. You know, I've got a couple games coming up here that I'm very excited about. I'm hoping Dice Settlers is going to be coming to me from pre-order Essen stuff. There's two things I like. I like games and I like beer. And so and it's funny because everyone knows that you're the hardest person to get something for birthday. 1, you don't have to get me anything. 2, I like board games and beer. It's really not difficult. It's just those 2 things. And so I've got some gift cards. I've got moolah to be able to go and splurge and spoil myself. And I plan on doing it. Until next time, I'm going to get back to gaming. I hope you are too. And I'll come back at you at the end of next month. And we will check out our MVPs at that point. Please leave your comments, suggestions, questions, anything down below. And I'll be happy to chat with you. And until then, I'm boardgamerants. And I'm out. Testing. Let's see what kind of noise we got here. We got it. We got this. Can you see me? Look at you. How does it do it? Go like this. Focus. Still focusing. Still.